Hello, folks. Today we're reviewing the Apple AirPod Max, the over-the-ear headphones that get both good and fair reviews. This review is my personal hands-on opinion and is not sponsored by Apple. I purchased these mainly for travel and was looking for quality-sounding noise cancellation headphones that would connect easily to my iPad, my iPhone, and my laptop. They needed to be lightweight and comfortable. I've owned and traveled over the years with several brands, from the Bose Quiet Comfort 45s, the Sony WH-1000 XM5s, and Beats Studios. So this is my review of the AirPods Max with experiencing several other leading brands. AirPod Max over-the-ear headphones has been designed for a fit that creates an optimal acoustic seal for many different head shapes, and it should immerse you in every sound. So let's talk about the design. Starting with the canopy. Spanning the headband is a breathable knit mesh and weight distribution to reduce the on-head pressure. What I found with these is it's very lightweight. You do not feel this on top of your head. Unlike maybe the Sonys and even definitely the Bose, they tend to have a thicker padded headband, and sometimes that metal headband coming across will create pressure on the head, and you'll definitely feel that or squeezing into the head. That does not happen here. You have no pressure at all. The frame is stainless steel, and it's wrapped with this soft-to-touch material that builds onto the strength and flexibility overall. It creates a very good durable headband, and it uses stainless steel throughout, even down to the extension arms. So you will not notice these when they're on your head. They're very lightweight, and I found them to be very comfortable wearing them for a long time. The telescoping arms do extend, and what I do like about them is they are hard to pull out. As you can see here, I'm pulling them out. They do extend and will fit just about any head size, from small to large, and they are hard to pull. In other words, they don't slide very easily. And that's good, because once you get them into place and onto your head, they will stay there. You can fold them back up, put it into the case, put it into your bag, and they will stay there for the whole time. You really don't have to adjust them again. I found I really like that. When you compare that to something like the Bose or the Sonys, definitely the Bose, where you have to then fold the air cups in and fold them several times. You're always readjusting those and getting it to fit to your head just right. With these, you do not have to do that. You get a consistent fit and seal around your head. The ear cushions, they pop in and out very easily. You can see here. And they are a mesh textile, and they provide a pillow-like softness while listening. I found this to be a much better feature than the Bose or the Sonys, where they tend to be that faux or fake leather, and they can get warm over time and they really don't breathe. These are very breathable, and the air flows through this. I also like that they pop out very simply, and you can clean them out, soft little wipe, and then they pop right back in. The magnetics stay in so they don't pop out. The memory foam in the air cushions create a gentle seal around your ear and really helps with the sound and noise cancellation. As you can see here, as I put them on, they fit very nicely. You create a good seal around your ears and your heads, and you can see how it's just fitting on my head. Now, I did adjust those bars earlier, so now you can see it's sitting on my head. No real heavy pressure and so forth. So if we talk about the dials and buttons, there's only two to deal with, and they're right here on the right-hand side. There's a digital crown that allows you to play and pause music and mute yourself while on calls. You can press twice to skip songs and answer and end a call. And finally, you can turn the volume up and down by just basically turning the knob backwards and forwards. There is a button here on the side which takes you out of the noise cancellation mode and makes it transparent so that you can hear the environment around you and it's not as muffled. So let's talk about sound. I travel for work a good deal, and over the years, I've owned those various brands, the Bose and the Sonys and the Beats, noise cancellation. And I have to say the Apple AirPods Max have been my favorites for connectivity, noise cancellation, and sound quality. These are my current go-to for air travel, definitely for movies and music. They provide a high fidelity audio with solid active noise cancellation. They produce sound with an ultra low distortion across the audio range. I found they have a very good deep bass with accurate mids and crisp, clean highs. They're very good for clarity in movies and music. What I found in movies, when you have those movies that have the very loud action or music in the background and potentially low volume in the words, you don't have that problem where having to turn the volumes up and down adjusting the movie throughout. You get a very good constant surround feeling in the movie. For music, you're getting those good basses. The highs don't get out of control. Even as you turn the volume up, you don't get that very high or distorted sound. Very good sound quality. I think that has a lot to do with the chips and the power in the headsets, which I'll talk about in a minute. For noise cancellation and full immersive listening, the AirPods Max use 6 outward-facing microphones to detect your environment, and with 2 inward-facing microphones to measure what you're hearing. I found these to be the best out of all the brands that I have owned for noise cancellation. With noise cancellation on for air travel, they truly block out the outside noise and the talking, and you only hear what you're listening to. You do not have to drive up the volume. You do not have to have very loud volume. That's what I really like about these. Some of my other brands, mainly the Sony for sure and the Beats, I've had to really crank up the volume even with the noise cancellation on. This, I can have the volume at a good comfortable level for me, and the noise cancellation was doing it. I often travel in the smaller planes from where I have to fly out of, so those planes tend to have very loud engine noise or the loud PA systems, and they're just very noisy environments. What I like about these headsets is I can turn on that noise cancellation by just pressing this button, even without any music or movies playing, and still get that quiet environment and very comfortable flight. So that's another benefit of these headsets. The microphones have also been very solid for phone calls as well. I found that I can hear very clear any call that I'm on. I never have any problems with that. And the people on the other end tell me that I have a clear voice. It comes across very well, even in windy environments. With a powerful Apple-designed H1 chip in each cup, the custom acoustic design and advanced software, the AirPods Max create a solid listening experience by tapping into the chip's 10 audio cores, and that's on each cup. And I believe that's what's really driving that noise cancellation, blocking that outside noise. It really adapts that audio to fit the seal around your ear cushions and brings out that immersive sound into the movies that you're listening to or the music that you're listening to. You get that really surround sound, or you get that bass. You can really, really get into what you're listening to. It sounds really, really clear and crisp. Solid with those chips driving in here. I find them to be hands above the other headsets as far as, in my opinion, the sound quality. Again, like I said, with a simple push of the button on the right side, you can switch to transparency mode that lets the outside sound come in. You can interact with your surroundings without having to pause that music and so forth. Discussing another important factor is Bluetooth connectivity. This was one of the reasons why I purchased these headsets. Overall, the Sonys did not work well as far as connectivity. They always dropped or had a hard time connecting. The Beats were wired and my Bose were okay, but they either would drop or they were not seamless moving from the phone to the iPad or the laptop. There was always extra steps to connect. If you are a Mac user or have an iPhone or an iPad, you just have to take them out of this case and they connect, and you can quickly move from one device to another. What I like is when you take them out of the case, you'll see that they connect right on the phone or the iPad. You'll see a little pop-up icon. It'll tell you the percentage of battery that you have left, and you're connected. I found that very helpful moving back and forth from my iPad to the iPhone when moving from the airport to the plane. So if you're watching your movie ends, your plane lands, you go to your phone, You put your iPad away, you got your phone out, you can switch right to your music without having to take your headsets off or having to do any kind of reconnection. It just slimly reconnects and you can exit the plane. It makes it very nice. Let's talk about the case. At first, I was not a fan. I always liked the hard or zipper cases that the Bose and the Sony offered, and the AirPods Max are stored in a slim case, and they automatically move to an ultra low power state to preserve the battery. And you can see here, I just slid it into the case very easily. They pop in and out. It's so simple and smooth. So like I said, at first, I always thought I needed that hard case. But what I found about these was once that's in the case, I've owned these for about 2 years. You can see that they're holding up very well. They're extremely durable, but they're laying very flat. So they slide into your bag or your briefcase very easily. Or your backpack. You don't have any problems with travel. They're not bulky. The Bose and the Sonys, while they folded nicely into the case and they probably protected those because there's a lot of plastic on those headsets, they were very bulky and they took up a lot of room in the bag. The other thing I like about this is when they automatically move to the ultra low power state to preserve the battery, I can have these sit in my desk for several weeks and still have 80 to 90% of the battery. So over time, I've really grown to like the soft case with it folding flat. They don't take up a lot of room in my bag when traveling, and it remains still very lightweight. So let's talk about that battery. Apple will claim that 20 hours of listening and movie watching and talk time with noise cancellation enabled. I've never pushed them that long, so I can't tell you if that's true or not. But I have used them on long overseas flights, and I still had about 30 to 40% battery life remaining. You do have to use a lightning connector to charge, not a USB-C, which is a negative in my opinion. Now, over the years as an iPhone user, I've collected many lightning cables, so having a lightning cable available and to charge is fine. Since I have one for my phone here, I'm going to charge that. That's not going to be a problem. I can switch to my phone to the headset. So you're always going to have that. So I'm not going to say it's a big problem, but it would be nice if it was USB-C and not a lightning cable. I believe in future models, since they've just released the iPhone 15 with USB-C, you can see that this will eventually be a USB-C model. So overall, what are the pros? Solid noise cancellation. Great sound for music and movies. Very comfortable. You can wear these several hours and you never really notice them on. Battery life is good, up to 20 hours. And the charge time is fast. I want to say even almost fully depleted, you could charge these back up at about 2 to 3 hours. In about 5 to 10 minutes of a charge time, you could easily get another hour or two of listening. I like that the air cushions pop in and out very easily, and how nicely they fold down into the case. Now, what are the cons? I will tell you the biggest con that there is price. Today, I just looked them up. They are $549, which is about $150 more than the Bose or the Sony or the Beats. That's expensive. For a model that's 2 years old, I think it's pushing the price point, but I think with the chips, the sound quality, the noise cancellation, the durability and ruggedness, I still think it beats it out. So with that higher price point, I feel these are hand down better than the other over-the-ear headsets for comfort, the sound quality, the battery life, and just overall. The wireless connectivity is solid. I didn't drop calls. I never lost it during music. Even if my phone wasn't near me, it was in a bag or was stored away, I still kept that connectivity. So I found these to be very good. I can charge and throw these into my bag so they hold up. I've had these sit and store for maybe a week or two, even longer, pull it out, and they're still going to be holding about an 80% charge. So if you do forget to charge and then you got to go travel, you're going to have enough time for a couple-hour flight and have that. They're comfortable. I wear them around the house quite a bit. I use them for video editing because I can wirelessly connect to my studio, my Mac Studio. They connect very well. I get great sound quality. With the noise cancellation, I block everything else and I can really focus in on the audio quality. If I'm just out on the backyard or on the back porch and I just want to listen to some great music and relax, they're very comfortable. I don't find them warm. I've heard other people say, well, they're heavy, or because this mesh is memory foam in them, they get warm. I didn't experience that. In fact, I found these much cooler than the other headsets that tend to have the leather, and I didn't get any of that heavy sweat or heat around the ears. So in my opinion, if you want comfort, great sound, solid noise cancellation, good phone use, and battery life, these are the way to go. Hey, if you hung around this long, please do me a favor and subscribe to my channel. I got more reviews coming of many different products. In fact, one product that I'm going to be talking about is from Olalander, these OWS Pros, which are over-the-ear, not in the ear, wireless headphones that I'll be reviewing here shortly that I just recently received, and I found them to be much, much better than the iPros earbuds. So something that's coming up, and I think you're going to find that very interesting. So thank you for stopping by, and I hope this review was helpful.